conversation the other day with a local photographer, a really, really good one too. Our city's blessed to have a bunch of those, about the state of still art, actual old school photography. Well, this morning I'm going to share with you a tale of one photo that does the 1,000 words thing pretty well. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates 5, Giants 4 last night at PNC Park. The San Francisco guys can't beat the Pittsburgh guys, regardless of where the games are played. And in this case, specifically, even with what would appear to be optimal circumstances for the visitors. Pirates started Johan Oviedo, lasted 1 inning. Good for him for being back. First time since 2023 off elbow surgery. Giants had a 4-1 lead, threw 6.5. Jack Suwinski goes deep, 2-run bomb over the Clemente wall. Now it's 4-3. Going to the 9th. Jack gets hit by a pitch. Joey Bart comes through with an RBI single that scores Alexander Canario. And then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa comes through with, well, he kind of came through. He did put the ball in play, unlike what a lot of his teammates would have done. Gives Jack a chance to go busting it to home. Jack does that, beats the throw. Head first, hair flying everywhere. He's filthy when he gets up. He's batting 113, so I don't want to overstate anything that I say about Jack, except this. It's nice to see him smile. It hasn't happened a lot in 2025. This was what he had to say afterward regarding facing all of that frustration.
Yeah, it's just part of it. I mean, you can't control the results, and that's obviously something I have to remind myself. So just coming in, work as hard as I can, and watch the way the rest of this locker room works. So it's easy to come in and do that, and these guys pick me up every day. So yeah, I mean that's it. Just sticking to the process and working hard, and leaning on these guys.
Good dude. There's no way you can't pull for Suwinski, and I get it. Look, I'm not blind to the stats. I'm not blind to the bigger picture. I'm certainly not blind to his recent history. I'm just talking about hoping that someone who's that cool and who works that hard, it's okay to see them get rewarded. Now, on that note, Justin Aller of Getty Images, and they're our client for the DK Pittsburgh Sports app, meaning we pay to be able to use their photographs from events all over the continent. Aller gets a shot, just a beautiful shot of Suwinski's slide past Patrick Bailey. You see the animated body language of both the runner and the catcher. You see the dirt kicking up over top of the Pirates dugout in the background. You can see the fans standing and anticipating the play, and a couple of them realizing that Jack's going to be safe and already having their arms up. And then all the way to the left. And by the way, if you're checking out today's show on a platform like YouTube that includes a thumbnail, you'll see the photo. I've put it on this particular program for you to take a look. You will see Don Kelly getting up to the top step of the dugout in what's pretty clearly a spontaneous last-second body reflex to completely cut loose in the event that Jack is safe. I love this. It's a moment that video and overhead cams and anything else, it's not going to capture the same way that Aller's photo did. It's a literal snapshot in time. I bring this up today not just to praise a local photographer, but also to remind everybody that whatever it was that you liked about Kelly when he first took over, it's all still there. He's still that guy. He still has that fire. And in case you haven't noticed over the past little while, so do the players that he's putting onto the field. Let me quantify that. The Pirates overall are 49 and 64. They have a minus 50 run differential. So that's minus 15 in the win-loss columns, minus 50 in the scoring columns. This is a bad team having a bad season. Under Kelly, I'm not overstating this either, they're 37 and 38. No one should be winning any prizes for being a game under 500, but there's a different challenge that was put forth to this manager upon his promotion, and that was take an already dead season, which is, there's no other way to describe the state of the Pirates on the day that Derek Shelton was fired. It was a dead season. There was nowhere to go with it. Next, take any number of additional mitigating factors that would have worked against this team midstream. The fans, protesting, yelling, sell the team, the planes flying overhead. I happen to believe all of those activities will make a positive difference over time, if only because they're aimed at the appropriate people. But those on the field can and do get caught in the crossfire. And as Andrew McCutchen himself acknowledged earlier this season, sure, it's going to have an effect. And then, on top of all that, take the sheer volume of idiocy and greed and prioritization of all the wrong things that went into those trades last week. Then factor in the awful, even by their standards, loss this past Friday in Denver, and another tough one the next day with Paul Skeens pitching. And ask yourself how in the heck these Pirates have won 10 out of their last 13 games. And how was it that nobody listening to this show, zero of you, even realized that until I just said it now? 10 wins in the last 13 games. Don't let this manager get caught in your own crossfire regarding things that make you mad about the Pirates or at the Pirates. He's not the one who coined Donnie Ball. That's not him. He's not remotely like that. He's not one to do crowing of any kind. He's just trying to win every game he's managing, and I dare say he's got 26 guys trying to do the same thing at field level. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Z Hall, who says, DK, I want to preface this by saying that I know you're not in the business of predictions or hypotheticals, but here goes my hypothetical question anyway. Say by some miracle, Major League Baseball gets a salary cap. Do you think it'll even help the Pirates as an organization? For an owner who only cares about money and can't hire front office talent, do you really see a cap system making a difference, or will it be business as usual? I'm going to start with the obvious here, and that's that it absolutely would make a difference, a monstrous, mammoth difference in the sport. And the Pirates couldn't be an exception to that. I always feel like it's necessary to repeat for those who are new to this information that a salary cap system involves a payroll ceiling, a payroll floor, and a greatly expanded revenue sharing so that all teams can pay within to that range. What is that range? In the other leagues, it's around $20 million, so not very much. It basically sets up everybody to be paying around the same total. So what ends up happening is any criticisms that you have of your ownership, or for that matter, praise, isn't based on how much they're paying or what their payroll is because everyone's around the same level. Now, that part alone is seemingly impossible for a lot of people to process because baseball's been so screwed up for so long, and it only continues to get worse in that regard rather than better. Well, it's coming, and it's coming in the next labor agreement. They can call it whatever it is that they want to. They can try to hide behind semantics on either side, but it's going to be a system that's a lot closer to what the NFL and the NHL have than the non-system that baseball currently has. Now, I say all of that, and I say it with, well, let's say, hypothetical delight, because what's going to happen in that setting is that all this stuff I've been saying for years that people have misinterpreted as defending nutting. Why are you defending nutting? Whenever I say things like, the payroll isn't his biggest issue. Well, of course it's the payroll. They said on talk radio it's the payroll. Why are you saying these things? You're defending nutting. No, I'm saying this because I know the things that he has done and continues to do very poorly as an owner, and they immensely exceed a $10 or $20 million difference in payrolls, meaning what the Pirates are spending versus what they should be spending. It's a difference of around 10 or 20 million and not more than that. That is nowhere near as relevant a factor in this team being a joke right now when compared to continuously employing the worst general manager in professional sports. And if you really wanted to take me up on that, if you wanted to have some kind of back and forth on that, all I'd have to do is count up the money that Ben Cherington himself has wasted, has thrown away, has lit on fire. It is a staggering figure that goes into the 9 digits. If you weigh into that the amount that's been wasted at the amateur levels, in the draft, Latin America, the international community. No one sees this, so no one talks about it. It's only everything in this system that we're talking about right now, the current baseball economic system. It is only everything to have a GM who can acquire, develop talent at the correct prices, the ones that are the same pretty much for everybody. Whereas evaluating a general manager in Pittsburgh in this system, no matter who the owner is, and doing so on things like free agency, that's where it gets unfair. But that's not the issue, and that's never been the issue over these 6 years. So if you're asking me, and you didn't say this explicitly, but I'm going to go ahead and extrapolate it, would the Pirates be a better team under a salary cap system? The answer to that is, if this GM was here, no, they'd actually be worse, because that singular problem would be exposed all the more. The Cleveland Browns play in a salary cap system. All of their various shortcomings, most of them involving brain power, are laid bare for the entire football world to see year after year after year. that would continue to be the Pirates, only it would be on an even grander and more obvious stage. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.